Rumor Roundup, Kang Dynasty Secret Wars coming at you. What is up, Defects? We're back for another Rumor Roundup, and this one is pretty big. It's about the Avengers Kang Dynasty and the Avengers Secret Wars. So we're going to talk about the rumor, discuss whether we think it's true or not, and then we're going to show you some books that go along with the rumor, maybe that you're not thinking of. All right, so before we get into all of that, let's get into this.
The books we discuss and show are only from a speculation standpoint. We do not encourage any viewers to buy these books based on theories or lists. Always remember to collect what you like.
All right, Defects. So from one of our sources on Twitter, I'm going to read it. I know it's small on the screen, so I'll read it to you. So it says, Kang Dynasty, 616 Avengers team fight the Council of Kangs and lose. Okay. And then it says Secret Wars. The TVA send a team of multiversal Avengers they have secretly recruited, led by Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, to save the 616 Avengers and defeat the Kangs once and for all. So that's the rumor. So we picked some books that, we were thinking a little bit outside the box on this one. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot you can go after on this one. But before we get into books, right, Jay? So before we get into books, let's discuss whether we think this rumor holds any water, how much we think of it's true, is it plausible? So I'll go to Jay first. What do you think, brother?
All right, so besides hearing this rumor, right, there's also a rumor going around, I'm sure most people heard of it, is Wolverine's not going to be part of the X-Men in the MCU.
At least not right away.
Yeah, so it's kind of two rumors that coincide with one another. So maybe there's a little heat to this, guys. I mean, the MCU has to smarten up. Their movies have to get a little better, right? Their shows have to get better. Some stuff is great, some stuff not so much. We all know that. But having Deadpool and Wolverine in a movie together with Spider-Man, they see all the hype it's surrounding right now with Deadpool 3, with just Spider-Man and with just Wolverine and Deadpool. There's a ton of hype behind it. They may be able to push forward with these characters that everybody seems to love. So I think there's a little truth behind it, Matt.
All right. I'm kind of in the same boat. I think, like you said, with all the hype, I hate to say it, but the Taylor Swift hype is legitimate. Yep. And I think people, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, I think this is possible. I think it's definitely possible. I think I give this better than 60% chance of being true. Obviously, we know things change. We do these rumor roundups not as definitive, not as us speculating a rumor. This is a rumor we heard. Then we dissect it a little bit, try to apply some books that, if true, these books could apply. That's what we're trying to do here. So,
yep, absolutely.
We're going to show you some books. If you have something else other to say, or you think something's right or wrong, or we have, because a lot of this stuff's not in the app, right? So sometimes we do some research. So if you see something we do wrong, just let us know in the comments, all right? But we're going to start off with the books. Jay, you want to start us up?
Let's go. All right, Defects. If you didn't know, Deadpool was apparently in the original Secret Wars, right? So this is Deadpool Secret Wars #1 from 2015, written by the horror master Colin Bunn, illustrated by Matteo Lally, and right there you got cover A, dope cover, and then you got that 1 in 25 Run the Jewels cover. Matt, I mean, listen, in this story, Deadpool goes back and is part of the Secret Wars that took place in 1984, but no one seems to remember it. So it's a pretty cool story. But the main part of this story is Deadpool battles Kang, right? He's one of the 15 people to beat Kang. And how does he do it? You'll never guess. He does it with a double mule horse kick right to the Johnson. I mean, who would have thought that? But here you have it, guys. Do you see something like this in the movie as a laugh in a Deadpool movie versus Kang? You could definitely be able to see this in a movie, right? We could all see this in the movie. I mean, is that going to happen? Is Deadpool going to beat Kang? I mean, it's possible, man. Who knows? But a book to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Deadpool's going to be Kang, but I think if this is true, he'll have his little moment, right?
Yep,
Maybe one of the
absolutely.
Kangs, right? Because they said the council, so they're going to be fighting multiple Kangs. I do like this. You know, let me tell you something. If that happens, if that rumor starts to become true, like this book is definitely going to be something that people should have on their radar because these days the team ups. That's what we tried to do. We tried to go with the market, the team ups, the first battles, the fight
Yep.
scenes. You know, Deadpool defeating Kang. Those are the books that have gained traction because the first appearances have been done to everybody bought them in 2021. So now people are trying to flip them. So until that corrects itself, people are picking up these ancillary keys, and this is a great one, Jay.
Yeah, but not only that, Matt, just to have, just to
Yeah.
have,
Oh, 100%.
you know what I mean? Just to have in your collection a cool book you could probably find in a back bin somewhere. I mean, awesome. Looking to clean and press your books before submission? Well, look no further than the best in the business, Erod 212 with Express Comic Book Pressing Service. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Erod will submit your books to CGC and CBCS and pass along his discount. Hit him up on Instagram or email expresscbp@yahoo.com.
All right, let's keep moving. So we talked about Deadpool. We talked about the Avengers. How about, yes, when Deadpool actually joins the Avengers?
Whew.
This actually does happen, kind of. I mean, it does. It is technically official. So in Avengers Volume 6, number 0, I think it's a 0 and a 1. It's a short miniseries. Some people call it It All Begins Here Avengers, but it's the Volume 6. It's number 0. That's a sequence of multiple mini stories throughout that issue. In Deadpool's story, he's doing some side jobs for Cap to try to keep Rogue alive. And at the end of it, Cap gives Deadpool an Avengers card. So let me show you that real quick. So there it is. He says,
That's awesome.
he says, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day. And he gives him the card. Okay. So you can see it there. And then at the end of this book, and it shows an ad for the Uncanny Avengers Volume 3, number 1, which you see on the right there. And that's when Deadpool actually is fighting alongside the Avengers as an Avenger. Okay, so that would be his official first appearance on an Avengers team. So the number 0 was 2015, written by James Robertson and inked and drawn by Leonard Kirk. And the Uncanny book is, I didn't get the year. I think it's also 2015. It's by Jerry Duggan, and it's actually drawn by Ryan Stegman. So a little fun fact there. So
there you go.
Team appearance for Deadpool on Avengers. There it is. If you were looking for it,
Matt, love it. Bringing the heat.
We got to dig deep for them because we had to dissect this a little bit more than usual, right?
Listen, it's Deadpool joining the Avengers, and how about this? New Avengers, Volume 1, number 8 from 2005. Brian Michael Bendis and David Finch. Need I say any more? But this is Wolverine officially joins the Avengers, which he has fought with them in the past several times. We all know that as comic fans, but this is the first time he officially joins the New Avengers, guys. They're battling Sauron in the Savage Lands. Wolverine helps out. They form an alliance and they move on from there. So we got Deadpool joins the Avengers, and now we got Wolverine joins the New Avengers.
I like that. And I like the New Avengers part of that because that's what, that's probably another book is the first New Avengers because that's maybe a team, maybe they call it Uncanny, maybe they call it New Avengers. But I think this whole run is, I think, something you should probably be at least researching. So good, really good pick, Jay. I like that one.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. So one of these books you probably know, and one of these books you probably don't know. So now we took care of the team appearances. How about the first time that Spidey and Deadpool meet? So I'll start with the one on the right because that one probably most of you know already. Some of you may not. That's Cable and Deadpool number 24. That's from 2006. Fabian Nicieza and Patrick Zircher. It's the first official meeting of Spider-Man and Deadpool. This is already a pricey book, right? This was an $80, $100 book a couple years ago. It's probably come down. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe somewhere in the $40 to $50 range, but definitely a book that not a lot of people know what it is. So sometimes you can find this book in back bins. We've found it before in a back bin for sure. So That's the official first time they meet, first time they team up, first time they share a page and interact. Okay, so there was an issue of X-Force, which I didn't put here. X-Force number 4, Spider-Man's in it, Deadpool's in it, but they don't actually interact. Okay, so that's like kind of like an unofficial, like distant meeting, but nobody really counts that one. But the book on the left is very interesting. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Deadpool number 11. That's 1997 from Joe Kelly and Pete Woods. The AF-15 homage or parody, you can see the rope is snapping, right, for Deadpool. So that's Deadpool Volume 3, number 11. So what people don't know is that this is actually Deadpool in a Spider-Man story. He gets sent back in the timeline. They actually use the word timeline by the Watcher, okay? And Deadpool, Wade Wilson goes back to ASM 47, okay? And he lives out the events of that issue in his own way. So he's interacting with all of Spider-Man's characters.
That is awesome.
Except Peter Parker. And then at the very end, you see the Watcher literally reading a copy of ASM 47. And then they have a reprint of ASM 47 very quickly at the end in small little squares. So it's kind of like an unofficial, it's not really a meeting, but it's an unofficial Deadpool insertion into a Spider-Man timeline. So again, another book that could see some gains.
Oof, I like that, Matt. How awesome is that? The Watcher sends him back. That's a great issue. That's the issue I'm going to need for my PC.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm oversimplifying. It's a little bit more complicated, but I figured for the sake of time, that's kind of what happens. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man,
we got you.
All right. Again, we're going in order here, folks. Matt has Spidey and Deadpool meetup. Here we go. First team meetup is Spider-Man and Wolverine. Marvel team up number 1 from 1976. You got the dynamic duo Claremont and Cockrum on this book, guys. The first meeting of Wolverine and Spidey. Also, the X-Men involved, right, Matt? You got all the X-Men, and Wolverine that was his thing back then. That was his crew. So it's the meeting of the X-Men and Spidey, but in sake of this video, Wolverine and Spider-Man, guys. Also, second appearance of Jean Grey as Phoenix, which is another little double spec there, guys.
There you go.
I didn't look up prices on this, Matt.
Not a cheap book, but
not a cheap book,
not
right?
Too high. $20-$30. It's not bad.
And then we got the cooler cover of the two, guys. Marvel Team Up 117, Spider-Man and Wolverine. First appearance of Professor Power, Bob Layton art, and Jim DeMatteis on the writing on the inside. I mean, just another dope Spidey Wolvie book that if we do see this in the movie, will probably heat up. But besides that, just an awesome cover.
But I tried to find something also, and I know, Jay, you did too, where Deadpool, Spider-Man, and Wolverine were all together, but I couldn't find that. So if anybody in the comments...
the chat, it's so funny you said that, Matt, because I was going to say, if the only thing we're missing is the 3 of them for the first time together. If you know what that book is, put it in the chat.
Yeah, so really good pick there. So we covered a lot of bases, right? We got our team-ups. We got our first team, appearances. We got Deadpool fighting Kang. So I think that kind of covers the surface of this rumor. And if it gets a little bit more legs, maybe we revisit it, right? I mean, what do you think, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll post maybe like a little short or something of the video, or maybe just the books. I mean, if I want to see anybody in the MCU fight Kang right now, it's Deadpool and Wolverine, dude.
Seriously, I mean, they may hold this whole thing together. They may hold the whole MCU together. So why not be them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Defects. So that wraps up the rumor roundup for this Kang Dynasty / Secret Wars rumor. Tell us what you think in the comments. Do you think it's legit? Do you think it has a chance? And tell us some books, if it is legit, that you would be on the lookout for. A special announcement. Maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't. Depending on when you watch this, we are getting ready for New York Comic Con, and we are bringing out an art book with Ryan G. Brown, Erod 212, and of course Very Gary, the Defective Collective. Okay, I'm going to show it on the screen right now. Miles Morales art book. That's going to be available Wednesday night at pre-sale on Whatnot. Wednesday the 11th of October. And then it's going to be available all 4 days of the show. If it lasts, I don't think it will. And then it's going to be, we're going to have a few left over for the following Saturday. I think that's the 20, I just had the date now. I forget, the 21st. We're going to be at Jay's house. We're going to have a special little stream for some remarks and stuff like that. So all that information is going to be in the description below. The links to the streams are going to be in the description below. And if you want to get your hands on one, you're not going to be at New York, put a comment. We'll try to work something out with you. So also Thursday nights, 9:45 Eastern, we go live on Whatnot to sell. And then once a month with Vera Gary on his stream for the Defective Collective. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you on the next Rumor Roundup, Defects.